Hi folks, I hope you're having a good week this week. I am going to continue the little series that I've been doing looking at Ruth, although hadn't quite planned ahead and found chapter 3 of Ruth a bit daunting to start with and really wasn't sure what I was going to say. So I'm carrying on. We're looking at chapter 3 of Ruth. And specifically, I've picked a passage from it to just highlight the theme that I've picked out. But I really encourage you to continue reading it yourself. But the passage I've picked is from verses 11 to 13. And Boaz is talking to Ruth while they're in while they're down at the threshing floor. And he says, "And now, my daughter, don't be afraid. I will do for you all you ask. All the people of my town know that you are a woman of noble character. Although it is true that I am the guardian redeemer of our family, there is another who is more closely related than I. Stay here for the night, and in the morning, if he wants to do his duty as your guardian redeemer, good, let him redeem you. But if he is not willing, as surely as the Lord lives, I will do it. Lie here until morning." It's a bit of a strange story to read at first. Ruth going to Boaz under Naomi's instructions to lie at his feet while he sleeps. I really, sort of first read through, I really wasn't sure what to take of that. But there's a few things that comes out from this. You see, Naomi sticks to her faithfulness to Ruth as Ruth has done to her. Naomi sees that the best thing that can happen for Ruth, for her security, her safety, her continuing life, is that she remarries. And Naomi knows that Boaz is a wealthy man. He is the redeemer guardian of their family in her eyes, and he's also kind. He has been proven, as we saw last week in chapter 2, that he can take good care of them. Israelite law also had it that the next oldest relation to the deceased husband of the widow would take on the responsibility of that widow's care. So Boaz had a legal obligation to look after Ruth, and that's where this all comes from. But there's two things in this chapter, as I've been reading about it, that have really stood out for me. John Piper calls it, has this theme that I think is lovely. He calls it righteous strategizing, where God has a plan for us. We know that God has a plan for us, but sometimes there's that phrase that God just opens the window a crack and we've got to do the rest. Or the door is slightly ajar and we've just got to open it. The thing with that is that there's been opportunities here for Naomi to guide Ruth to go to Boaz. Ruth could have taken advantage of the fact that Boaz was alone and been forced a marriage from him by being alone with him in the threshing room. Boaz, being alone with Ruth, could have taken advantage of the fact that he could have had Ruth for himself, despite the fact he's claimed that there's an older relative that would have had that legal obligation to look after Ruth as the family's widow. So he could have had Ruth all for himself as his own wife, or not, if he was maybe a little bit more inclined to not follow through on that. So there's ways that those sort of small openings that God has put through in his plan that could have been taken advantage of, but this righteous strategizing has it that people are being honourable in the situation. Naomi instructs Ruth to go to Boaz and lie at his feet and follow his instructions. And they do that. They're all very honourable and godly people. And so this righteous strategizing, I think, is a really nice term for following through God's plan and following that plan honourably. The other thing that really stood out for me was this idea of the nearest kinsman taking care of the widow. And there was a nice thing from Matthew Henry's commentary that spoke about how Jesus, being our nearest kinsman, took on that part of his Father's divine law to look after us. And so he cared for us in the way that the Israelite law had it put down, that the closest family member was to look after those that needed it, and that was Jesus for us. So that's my thoughts for chapter 3 of Ruth this week, and I really do encourage you to read it and explore it. I've really enjoyed. It's a story I've been familiar with, and I'm really enjoying going through it for our reflections. So to finish, let's pray. Oh, loving God, I thank you for today. I pray that in whatever situation we're at the moment, with lockdown easing and our anxiousness to be around our family, and all the discussions that I've been hearing and probably everybody else been hearing about, worship being able to start at some point down the line, and the anticipation for things like that. Father God, as we are looking more and more to the plan that the government's setting, I pray that we spend time thinking about your plan as well, Lord. Just how we can honourably act out your plan when we see a window or a door that's ajar for us to act upon. Let us be honourable in those situations. And while we're doing so, Lord, let us remember Christ taking on that care for us as our closest kinsman. Be with us today, Lord God, and with all of our families and our friends, and for everything that we do. We ask this in your name. Amen. Have a great day.